This weekend, the Mira Mesa Chargers went down to El Toyon Park and played the South Bay Devils. Mira Mesa starts this one off by kicking it to the South Bay Devils. Nolan Sheldon, Amari Sanders, and Gerald Reyes immediately go into action. The Devils start running right away, trying a reverse against the Chargers defense. Butler is there to make the stop. They then try to run through the line and pick up a few in doing so. The Chargers defense is starting to get hungry. Noah Chu decides now's the time to eat. Eats up the line and then eats up the quarterback. He rattles the Devils' cages so well they drop the next snap. And then Gerald Reyes realizes Noah's having all the fun, decides to get in the action and make this backfield stop. The Devils then try to throw the ball, but Eris Ash and Nigerian Casey get in his way, and Reyes breaks up the pass. The Chargers get the ball on downs, and then Michael Butler takes to the ground. Noah Chu then shows up and reminds them if they can't stop him on defense, how are they going to stop him on offense? The Chargers then go through the line, and Reyes is able to pick up a few more yards. The Chargers end up throwing an interception, and South Bay gets back to running. Or at least they try to. At the end of the first, it's tied up at 0. Now at the other end of the field, the Devils botch the snap, and Gerald, Noah, and Nigerian are there to stop him at the line of scrimmage. Noah then reminds them he's there and makes the backfield stop. The Devils drop another snap, and there's Nolan, Nigerian, Noah, and Gerald to make the stop. The Chargers get the ball back on downs, and now it's Gerald's turn to run, picking up about 6 yards. Not happy with just 6 yards, Gerald, the monster Reyes, runs it in and gets Mira Mesa's first touchdown. And Noah Chu runs in the extra point. The score is now 7-0 Mira Mesa. Mira Mesa then kicks the ball back off to the South Bay Devils, and they almost get the ball back. The Devils then take back to running, going through the line and picking up a few. Noah Chu decides he's going to have a little bit more fun and goes in for a backfield stop. South Bay tries another reverse, but this time Cameron Simmons is waiting for it and gets ready to make the tackle until Noah Chu swings the ball carrier down. Eris Sandy Ash, number 10, applies a little quarterback pressure and he throws an incomplete pass. South Bay tries to run to the outside, and Cameron Simmons is waiting and makes the stop. The Devils then try to run to the other side, where Eris, Noah, and Gerald are waiting to make the tackle. The Devils punt, and somehow Noah Chu gets the ball. He then stiff arms 3 different Devils and picks up a 45-yard return. But not much they can do going into the half, and Chargers lead 7-0. The Chargers start the third quarter by receiving the kickoff. Cameron Simmons gets it, but then runs into a slick spot on the field and falls. The Chargers get back to the ground game, and Junior gets the call. Here, he picks up about 3 yards. And then Gerald gets the ball, and he picks up about a dozen yards on a bounce to the outside. Touchdowns aren't all about wide receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks, though. Here you see the offensive line make a huge hole, large enough for you to drive a bus through. Yeah, a Noah Chu-sized bus. He has a little bit of fun with the linebackers and safeties before he decides to run off and get 6 more points for the Chargers. Then Michael Butler gets a taste of scoring, runs in the extra point. The score is now Chargers 14, South Bay 0. The Devils then try to run again. This time the running back redirects, but Eris and Gerald are there to make the stop. Devils try to run through the line again, but there's Ethan Mendoza to make the initial contact and the rest of the line to finish him off. They go up the middle and pick up about 10 yards, but then Cameron, Gerald, Nolan, and Noah are there to bring him down. On this one, I like how Noah just grabs him and is like, "Get over here!" And then the rest of the team shows up to make the tackle. The Devils try that swing, but the pitch gets away from them, and Nolan Sheldon is there to get the fumble recovery. And Junior steps back into action, this time weaving through traffic to pick up about a 10-yard gain. But then there's a miscommunication, and the Chargers end up fumbling the ball with the Devils recovering. South Bay goes back to the reverse, picking up about 8 yards before Gerald Reyes and Amari Sanders make the stop. Here the Chargers D-line steps into action with Noah and Jacob Hamilton making the stop. Back to their trusty reverse, only this time the ball carrier runs into RJ. Gerald and then Cameron come in and finish off the stop. That does it for the third, and the score is only 14-0 Chargers. The Chargers end up getting the ball back on downs, and this time they go to Amari Sanders, who zigzags up and down the field to pick up about 8 yards. And now comes Michael Hollywood Butler, who has a keeper sweep into the end zone for 6 more Mira Mesa points. Michael Butler kinda does it all. Here you'll see him kicking off, and then helps making the stop with Jacob Hamilton. The Devils test our corners, throwing a pass out that Nigerian and Cameron are able to break up. They try to run through the line and run into an RJ who's able to break the carrier's momentum. The rest of the team shows up to make the tackle. But then Amari Prime Time Sanders makes sure he gets a spot in this week's highlight reel by pulling down an interception. Sorry you couldn't see it, but trust me, it was lovely. The Chargers get the ball back, and once again, one of those bus-sized holes appear. Junior's then able to finesse his way across the football field and score another Mira Mesa touchdown. The Chargers were not able to convert on their point after touchdown attempt, and the score is 26-0 Mira Mesa. Noah and the boys waste no time in getting back into action. The Devils run, but they can't really pick up anything and end up turning the ball back over on downs. With just a little bit of time left on the clock, Michael Butler drops back, passes over to Amari Primetime Sanders, who catches the ball and then proceeds to run 57 yards for a touchdown. The final score is 34-0. Mira Mesa gets the win. This is the guy who always comes through with awesome footage. And this is me, the dude on the microphone. The Chargers' next and last regular season game of the 2019 season is at Steel Canyon on October 19th versus the East Lake Panthers.